Hello everyone, and welcome to our weather update on Friday, July 31st, 2026. Well, what a July it has been. A long run of warm weather and sunshine, at times hot weather as well, especially in the south. In the north, it has been, at times, actually quite a lot of the time, in the far northwest, cloudier, damper, and windier. But yes, there is a serious lack of rainfall in the south. Droughts, wildfires, hosepipe bans, and not only that, it's even worse across France and Iberia. However, we are discussing the likelihood now of a pattern change at least next week, which might alleviate some of the concerns, at least temporarily. Some temporary respite, some temporary rainfall. Although, even after the rain that does fall, I think it's likely that it's probably certain that we'll still be in very high levels of rainfall deficits, and that there are hints that high pressure might return after next week. So, for now, though, we have some showers clearing parts of eastern Ireland, also up in the north and northeast as well. Moving into parts of northern England, western Scotland, and also northern Scotland. So some showers currently scattered around western and northern areas. There were widely some showers today. Some of them heavy across Ireland, Scotland, and the far north of England. Elsewhere, been largely dry and fair. Right, so moving on from that then to the UKV high res, so you can see what's happening here. Showers scattered around mainly across the west and north. Elsewhere it's dry. Tonight it'll be quite chilly under a cool air mass, lighter winds and clearer skies, but the showers keep feeding into those exposed northern and western areas on that west to northwesterly breeze. So tomorrow Saturday again starting off chilly and feeling quite decent in the sun tomorrow. Showers tomorrow mainly reserved for Scotland and the far north of England. Otherwise, across Ireland, England, and Wales, largely dry affair with a lot of sunshine, but some high level cloud at times pushing into Ireland and southern England towards the end of Saturday. Now, Saturday evening, well, that high level cloud will be preceding a warm front that will bring some patchy light rain and drizzle into parts of Ireland overnight. This will push eastwards and northwards slowly. It will fizzle as it encounters high pressure, but bring some decent rainfall into the west anyway. Sunday itself, well, cloud and rain moves over most areas of Ireland. Across Britain, it stays bright at least, with some decent spells of sunshine, and temperatures I think will rise due to low pressure advancing left from the west. Therefore, ahead of it, we bring up a southerly flow. Now, Sunday evening, Sunday night, so warm front moves into Ireland and Scotland there. South of it, behind it, we'll see temperatures rising and humidity rise as well. So we'll be back to really quite warm weather into Monday there. However, that warm front gets stuck as the area of low gets stuck against blocking. That will be very strong and over Greenland and Iceland. That means heavy rain might last for quite a while there for those northern and the western regions. However, England and Wales, mainly sunny, and it will be quite hot. I will show you the temperatures in a second, and 2 points because it'll be quite humid. Going to Tuesday, well, this is where even in the south we might see some activity, some showers and thunderstorms might break out there. It's at the moment uncertain. It's quite up in the air, inconclusive as to what will happen exactly, but possibility of some, if all the ingredients come and align, you need the cap to break and whatnot, some lifting. You can have really high temperatures and a lot of humidity, but just the atmosphere can stay capped because it's too warm aloft, so the warm air parcels in the lower levels can't rise and allow for that convection to produce those storms. But with a trough of low pressure in situ next week, I think there'll be a higher chance of the cap breaking. Because remember back in, I think it was late June, we had that extraordinarily hot day on 25th, but that night, many areas didn't get any storms at all because of the cap. It was really humid, very sultry, very muggy, but storms were really confined to the west and north. Very few elsewhere, from what I recall. I was quite disappointed. Into Wednesday, again, showers and storms will be scattered around the place. However, UKV has them mainly across northern England, parts of Wales and Midlands, Ireland, and parts of Scotland. The south on this run anyway of England, getting fewer in comparison. Okay, so temperature forecast from UKV. So we know that it's fresher for now, then getting warmer next week. So tonight, it'll be quite a comfortable. It'll be a very comfortable night for sleeping, especially in comparison to some of the nights we've had this summer. Like the night where the storms failed back in June. That was really hot, really sweaty. I was awake for that night, the whole night. Windows were wide open, very humid, but just no storms. Okay, pushing through. Saturday. Well, again, pleasant in the sunshine. High teens, low 20s. Bit cooler again across exposed areas of Scotland and northern England. On a high ground and the showers and whatnot. A few of them tomorrow. Now, tomorrow night, again, it'll be quite chilly, quite fresh in many areas, about 5 to 13 degrees north to south. And you can see what's happening here off the south coast of Ireland there. Temperatures over the sea are holding up, and this is a sign of things to come, as you'll see. To Sunday, well, temperatures are rising. Look at that across parts of southern England. I think there'll be a localized 30 degrees in there somewhere, based on these charts. Widely across England and Wales, mid-20s, some high 20s, and then Ireland, Scotland, Northern England, still high teens and low 20s because of more cloud and some rain feeding in. Now, Sunday night, again, look at that. So, temperatures holding up across England and Wales in the mid to high teens, actually holding up at 20 degrees or above on the southeast coast. That will be a tropical night. Dew points with that are looking very warm, especially in that southeast corner. Talking about mid-teens, possibly high teens on the coast, combined with the temperatures. Again, look at that, like high teens, very high levels of humidity will be uncomfortable for sleeping there. A bit fresher in the west. So, okay, where are we? Monday's temperatures, well, really hot, possibly across central, southern, and eastern Britain. Low to mid 30s, might be overdoing it there, but it's showing a 36 degrees in London. I think that's possibly over the top, quite slightly. Over on the continent, well, high 30s, nudging on 40 degrees. Again, well, Ireland, Wales, Northern England, again, low 20s for Ireland, say mid 20s for Wales, Northern England and then Scotland's under the rain, really pegged back in the low teens. Okay, so let's have a look at the dew points on Monday. So we got temperatures across parts of the south in the low 30s, I'd say. I think it's a bit overdone, personally. Well, famous last words. That's humidity. Humidity, not overly bad from what I can see. Dew point isn't as bad as it was in June. I think in June it was in the high teens, and low 20s. So this is much more comfortable. Humidity, as you saw, around say 21 to 31%. So not as hot, but still, that if that comes off, that is still very hot, and caution would be advised. Now, into Monday night, again, even worse. So, central, southern, and eastern Britain, anywhere south and east of Birmingham, basically, you're looking at a tropical night, and the humidity will be really quite high, dew points being as high as they are. Right, so, moving on into Tuesday. Tuesday could be hot. No, it's actually not. It's not on this run anyway. I think that's because... Actually, no, sorry. Tuesday we'll see more clouds, so of course it's going to be cooler, and maybe some storms. But for still, I'd say 30 degrees is likely across the eastern counties. High 20s elsewhere across much of England and Wales. Ireland's low 20s, so is Northern England. Scotland again under more rain. I think that is it? Yes, it is. It is much cooler. Humidity on Tuesday. Help me. Yeah. A bit higher than on Monday. So again, you got the ingredients there. It's quite humid there, but just we need that cap to break up there. Dew point again, yeah, it's higher than Monday, so it'll be more uncomfortable possibly on Tuesday, despite lower temperatures. And there are some breaks in the cloud there, so it could be oppressive in the sun. And what am I doing? Wednesday, Tuesday night into Wednesday, again a very warm night. And Wednesday sees temperatures warmest across the east of England, but starting to pull away. And I think beyond that, we'll drop in a northerly flow. And it will cool down and dry up. And we'll see the dew point lowering again, becoming more comfortable. So here's the GFS 12 said. Again, low pressures towards Norway. Well, it's not over Norway. It's between us and Norway. And we have high pressure to our west, ridging into the country. So it's quite cool. Showers up in the north, but decent elsewhere. Now through the weekend, this low pressure meanders in from southwest. It's struggling because of the block, but it is getting in on the GFS run. And you see, it just sort of sits over Ireland and the UK. Around that, though, we draw in the wind from the continent. So that does account for the rise in temperatures across many areas of the central, southern, and eastern counties. But with low pressure in the mix, the trigger is there for some rain, showers, and thunderstorms, and whatnot. Okay, get rid of that. So moving on, then high pressure is ridging from the west through the end of next week. It'll be cooler though, as it is preceded by a more northerly breeze. Weekend of the 8th and 9th of August, cooler and more showery. Beyond that, high pressure tries to ridge back in from the Azores. Oops. Okay, hang on a second. Phone's ringing, but I can't exactly answer that right now. Okay. Right, so, further on into late August, into August 11th and 12th, well, low pressure keeps streaming in from the west. Now, that looks more mobile, and notice what's happening here. We got what seems to be a hurricane or a storm coming out of the tropical Atlantic Ocean. It does blow up into something there, and let's see what happens here. It goes towards Greenland, and actually ahead of it, we see it promoting the Azores High, ridging in, and what do you know it, by mid-August, we're into a high pressure dominated pattern from the Azores, and that will be warm to hot and dry. If that goes east, we'll draw up the wind from the south. Heat dome comes back up again, so for Spain, whatever, and it could happen all over again. The summer is it's only August, and August is easily hot potential. September recent years, don't forget that September has proven to be quite hot recently. So yeah, summer's far from done. ECM once again cooler over the weekends, drier for a time, but low pressure comes up from the south through Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Again, risk of showers and storms with that across any area really. So it's quite a warm, humid couple of days there, hottest in the south. Again, as it clears through, again, northerly winds will cool things down and make things more comfortable. At the end of the week, high pressure comes back in from the west, but that's in a more cool air mass, so probably something like this, cool nights with some brighter days. Through the weekends, actually quite similar to this weekend, so cut off lows to the west, high pressure ridging down from Greenland and low pressure to our northeast. So that's cooler and drier. However, beyond that, well, high pressure goes to the east, combined with the deep low pressure to the west, draws up a southerly flow, and up comes some warmer air. Not as hot as it could be, given the heat dome will have receded a bit over the coming week, but still, temperatures rising. It is the high 20s, possibly 30 degrees. However, not lasting over... Well, actually, no. Low pressure sort of just slides northwards, and we prolong this southerly to southwesterly airflow before a thundery-ish low comes in by mid-August. So, are we out the woods? So both the ECM and GFS show, some sort of like southerly or Azores high influence into mid-August here. UK Met Run. Again, so we have cooler dry weekend, followed by low pressure becoming more involved into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So warmer, humid, and plenty of energy available for heavy showers, spells of rain, and dare I say it, thunderstorms. It all depends on if that cap breaks. We got the energy, definitely have the energy, got the humidity, got the ingredients, but we just need the cap to break, and this warm, charged air can rise. However, given that it's a trough of low pressure, it naturally comes with some colder air in the higher altitudes. So I think the cap will break more easily with this. Let's have a look at the GEM and icons, like their actual rainfall forecasts. So GEM, once again, low pressure comes through into next week. Pretty high confidence that will happen, but just where will the most intense showers and storms be? GEM has the low a bit more north shifted here. So you can see what's happening here. Longer areas of rain for Scotland and Northern Ireland. There's some big downpours, possibly for Wales for a time. These push across Midlands and Northern England. Very little in the south. But GEM does have the low up further northwards, has to be said. Beyond that, we go into, again, a cooler, drier spell towards the end of the week. Then GEM wants to bring the Westerlies in. I'm not so sure about that. Icon. Again, after a cooler, dry weekend, up comes a more humid, warm and humid air combined with an area of low pressure. Actually, Icon goes quite deep with it as well, so I'm not quite sure about that now. I think that's definitely overdoing it. But we'll see what it shows in terms of rainfall forecasts. So, again, starting off with rain in the west. A lot of it across Ireland, Scotland, Northern England. Some big downpours over Ireland there on Tuesday, some over Northern England. But Icon also very little in the south. A lot of it in the north until we get to next Friday. Until we see an area of low pressure again towards the south. That might bring some heavy thundery rain across southern England. So unfortunately, Icon, GEM, and actually earlier UK Met Run, they showed most of the activity further west and north again, despite low pressure being even influential in the south. Arpège, again, let's see what happens with the Arpège low pressure. Unfortunately, Arpège has that again centered further west and north, and deeper as well. So it might bring a lot of rain just not where it's most needed. Icon, again, heavier rain pushing into look at that, Ireland, big echoes there. Scotland, Northern England, quite big echoes. So Wales again, but Midlands, Central Southern England, very little. Whereas Ireland, Scotland, North Wales, Northern England, possibly the far north of Midlands, gets plenty of rain and soaking. I will go back to the ECM and just see what that showed as well in terms of precipitation. Looking at starting here about Monday, when the low moves in. So again, the rain is gathering to the west. Some heavy bursts there on those bright echoes, on those darker echoes even. And then, okay, so that pushes into many areas of Ireland, Scotland, Wales. Some showers breaking out over eastern England, and some moving into the southwest as well. Actually, yeah, ECM, if you want something a bit further east and south, you've got a better bet there. You've got more penetrating into the Midlands and parts of the east. But still, yeah, a lot of activity will be centred towards the west and north. Southeast looks actually, you see what happens here. The southeast, I should have actually done this from the start, or whatever. But you see the southeast of England, like Kent area, it stays dry the whole time, virtually, apart from a few showers. So, it seems that the south, it's just sometimes like I don't know what happens. Just unluckily, just that bit too far south. That the low is always that the storm track is always a bit too far north for you. The south, unfortunately. Though just the way the climate has it, the jet stream where it goes, it always tends to be just a bit too far north for the south to get the main action. A lot of the heavy showers and storms and rain and whatnot is focused anywhere north of like the line from here, really. There you go. Yes, some rain, but just we need to get we need to get it, push it into the south. We're almost there with the rain, a lot of it, but just it's staying away, tantalizingly. Everyone, thanks for watching. We'll see what happens with this. There'll be more updates and videos to come. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.